Alpha 6400.
Wait. What are you clapping for? What are you clapping for? It doesn't even have in-body image stabilization. What? Those old batteries? That little body? I don't know who wants a camera that doesn't have in-body image stabilization. I don't understand. Turn this off. Technology snobs, relax. Hey, you, yes, I'm talking to you, technology snobs. You had some way you felt about the Sony A6400 and you just had to voice your negative opinions. You are a technology snob and I need you to relax. All right, let's talk about it. Now, let's talk about the Sony A6400. My name is CJ. This is CJ Knows Tech, where I let it talk tech, anything creative. I am a proud Sony shooter. I have 3 Sony cameras and I enjoyed them all. A5100, A6300, and the recently ever so sweet A7 III, which is what I'm shooting with right now. Now, the Sony A6300 has been a long-time companion of mine. I've created a ton of my YouTube content with it and I continue to create with it today. It's my B cam, you know what I'm saying? I don't have it set up right now. I should have had it set up so I could point to it, you know, and get that nice little cut shot, you know what I mean? It would have been some good, all right. Now the Sony A6400 is a cut above the A6300, not quite an A6500. And everybody got their opinions and what they want to say. I just want to tell them, relax, be quiet, look, just. Now, why am I telling you to shush? Because there is a market for this camera. There's a bunch of people that this is their budget, this is their entry-level vlogging camera, this is their butter. This is their entry into the Sony butter, and you sitting there blocking. Granted, yes, there are some caveats to the A6400. It doesn't have everything, and I get it. You're a technology snob. You just wanted a flip-up screen on a camera that would service you, and they didn't give it to you. So, hey, tough. But look, man, there's a rumor A7000. That'll probably be the one for you. And best believe, I meant to say, your wallet's gonna pay for that one. Now, look, think about it. The A6400 come in, body only $899, which hints to me that Sony is aiming for a certain market. Look at where they're aiming. You gotta think about it. This was not for you. Obviously, Sony is trying to get this down closer to the competitive vlogging cameras out there. Like even me recently, I bought a Canon G7X for vlogging type. Let me grab that. Nice, small, compact, flip up screen. Yes, they got in-body image stabilization and all the XYZs, but there are some shortcomings with this. There are times that I wish I had an interchangeable lens. Granted, you don't have in-body image stabilization, guess what you do? You get a lens from Sony with OSS, Optical Steady Shot. It's gonna help. It's like a, you know, it's gonna help. That's it. This has that 24 megapixel APS-C new technology sensor, which means you're gonna get the new color science of Sony. Like this color science I'm getting right here out of the A7 III, you're gonna get something similar to that. Maybe even the same. 1080p at 120 frames per second, 4K at 24 and 30. And mind you, the 4K of Sony is actually 6K down res to 4K. How is the A6400 not a great camera? Now you're gonna get interval shooting, which is time-lapse feature, which has always been a hassle on all of the A6000 cameras from the past. You know, you gotta go through loops and hoops just to do time lapses, and now they're giving it to you. Another box check. Also, something that no one's talking about is the mic placement. The mics are no longer on the top of the body like all of the other Sony bodies. They're more in the front. From me watching a lot of the sample vlogs and footage that I've seen from the vloggers that got the hookup, you know what I mean, Sony, yo man, Sony. The audio is improved. The built-in audio is so much better than say the A5100 or the 6300. It's killing it. So they knew with that little issue they got with the, you know, the mic setup plus the screen, we'll talk about that later, that they had to give you great audio. So it's great in-body audio. This is set up like for the vlogger. I get it. Yes, there are some bewares. So for anybody out there who's shopping this camera, I'm just trying to give you the confidence, the truth, and also the things that you need to beware of before pulling the trigger on this. But this is a great camera. Don't let any of the tech snobs, the bougie tech people out there, don't let them steer you wrong. Now listen to the caveats, listen to the pluses, and make a decision from there. Now, one thing I want to address, yes, there's the blaring issue of the hot shoe mount being right there, and then you flipping up the screen, and if you have an external mic, it's going to get in the way. There are fixes for that. Here's one of the smart ones that I don't think many people have talked about. Let me do a little something for you. A6300 on a small rig cage. Look at what this small rig cage gives you. Gives you all of this functionality and added holes and places to put mics. The mic is already off right on the cold shoe mount or whatever, hot shoe, I don't know, whatever, on the shoot mount that's on the cage. But even if I wanted to, like this bolt right here, I could have a mic off to the side. And I'm assuming that the A6400 is probably gonna be about the same size as the A6300 or 6500. So a small rig cage for either one of those, I'm hoping, will fit it and you're already set to go. Small rig always makes a cage for the latest camera, so I'm pretty sure that will include the A6400 if one of these previous cages doesn't fit already. And that's your smartest way to solve the issue of the microphone, in my opinion. Let's talk about some of the other things that you need to be aware about with this camera. No in-body image stabilization. I kind of mentioned it earlier. And really your only option is to get a Sony lens with OSS. And just, you know, your money is always in your glass anyway. The lens is what makes the camera great. It's not the body. But in-body image stabilization is definitely something you want in your body. But if it's not there, you get a lens with it. Yes, the A6300 came out, had issues with overheating, but Sony released a firmware update that solves that. I have shot with the A6300 in upwards of an hour straight, 4K, talking about hardcore, taxing on the camera without it shutting off. Now, it's high tip shooting, so you're gonna get the high temp warning, but it's gonna allow you to keep shooting, and you can squeeze a lot out of that. Now, typically with vlogging, how I see it is you get a shot, you turn it off, you flip, get a shot. Now, if you're gonna be consistently shooting past hour segments all at once, yeah, you might not want to get this one. And speaking of shooting long, that brings me into the other point. Yes, the batteries, it's the same old small FW50 batteries that burn through quick. This is a G7X, ideal vlogging camera, small, compact. And guess what? Have you seen the battery in this thing? Small. So what? I have to buy multiple batteries. Same thing if you get a small body, A6300, A6400, A6500, you just buy multiple batteries. Yes, it's a pain, but you take the good with the bad and you make it work. Now, another issue we're gonna talk about is rolling shutter. Yes, you get that little jelly rolling shutter if you move the camera or whip it a little too fast. It just is what it is. Know your equipment, know your shots, know what you're doing. I mean, yeah, you take the good with the bad. Now, why am I out here yelling, screaming, fussing back at the technology snobs? Because this is not for you. It's quite obvious. This is more so for the entry-level beginners. Sony is going after a different market that does not include you, so get your mouth, get your nose, get your snobby nose up out of this business. I get it. We wanted a flip-out screen on the camera that we use. I totally get it. I'm with you too, but I'm not gonna knock this camera because I know where it fits. I want to test it out and kind of want to try it. I've seen some good tests of vlog footage out of it, and it's killing. Not the promo footage. We talking about real life vloggers who they gave the camera to and used it. This camera is very capable. And I'm just tired of the technology snobs and the tech of today's community. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always got something. If you ain't buying it, shut up. Okay, so how do I see this camera? I see this camera as a greatly improved A5100 with a lot of the latest and newest features and upgrades. Sweet. No, we didn't get the battery. No, we didn't get in-body image stabilization. And yes, the mic placement is not the best with the screen, but there's fixes for that. There's ways to get around that mic thing. Yes, it's an obstacle, but it's one that you can overcome. I think the biggest issue and pain with this being aimed at vloggers is no in-body image stabilization. I don't know the logistics. I don't know what goes on in the back end. I don't know what their cost of goods, and so I don't know the paperwork, but this is what they gave us. Now there is a rumored A7000. A7000, where are you? What will you have? And guess what? It's gonna cost more than this camera. So get your wallets ready, tech snobs. I hope you got that snobby wallet for that snobby attitude you guys got. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm tired of talking about this. The A6400 is a very capable, great camera. You know, it's pre-orders open up on the 17th, which is really soon. And I don't know, I might entertain the idea of that. That'd be great content, and I can show you some of the great things that you can do with it. Cause I'm tired of the, man, you know, let me get up out of here.